All right, folks, welcome back. Day, was it 2 or 3? I've lost track already.
It's the
It's
Congress
Tuesday.
vortex. It's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday.
Day
Chris
3.
Garlock here with Davin Fraze and newly reelected, I think,
That's right.
to the
Yes, I'll
AGA
be
board.
serving once again
I'm
on the
so
board.
sorry.
Yeah, it's
Thank you, seriously.
you're
We
welcome.
really appreciate it. And for all those who voted for him, thank you for that. But no, so here we are on Tuesday. We are underway with 3 rounds. Sorry, we're a little bit late. We had a little situation with a fire door.
Yeah, it looks like somebody
emergence.
walked through the fire door and the alarm was blaring. We decided not to make you guys listen to that. So
Oh, that was really
You're welcome.
painful. Yeah, and that went on for a while.
Wow.
Very loud, annoying noise. Now, sources tell me it was Han.
The
Sources was you.
was me making up random rumors. Yeah, and it wasn't Han. Han, unfortunately, isn't even here yet.
Speaking of whom,
Yeah, so
but his clock is running.
actually, no, it looks like maybe the game started. So you guys will get to see that soon. But he did lose 10 minutes, and Chris and I were talking about,
Doesn't matter.
he doesn't care. It'll be fine.
Not a problem. So we do have some news. The Department of Todd is working on getting the Masters results up for those of you that are following along in League Go. And you can see all the wonderful results in the women's and then the seniors and then the U.S. Open, which is great. However, you don't see anything when you go to the Masters. And that's because the Masters is run separately.
Right.
Kevin is using
Open Gotha
for
Right.
those who are following at home. And so that has to be manually entered. This is probably way more than you wanted to know, but this is
behind
what
the
we're here
scenes
for,
look,
behind the
yeah.
scenes, how the sausage gets made. So Department of Todd is manually entering that into the system, and there are some problems which we won't get into. But
we have your
hopefully-
2-game winners now.
Who are?
Thanks to Todd. Those are Alan Huang, Taylor Shu, Eric Louis, Han, of course, and Jingji Shen. So we're excited to see if any of those people can keep their 2-game wins. I'm sure many of them are paired together. It's not necessarily how it works in Open Gotha. I run a lot of tournaments. Essentially, the goal is to have the most exciting players meeting up at the end. So, we'll see probably the best matches then,
Right.
last round or the round before. And then Sasuke Crafter says, will Han and Eric Louis pull the hat trick this round? Potentially. We'll see. I mean,
remind folks of what a hat trick is. This has nothing to do with hats.
I
Probably something originally. I don't know.
believe it's winning 3 rounds. Is that right? Like winning all their
Yeah.
games. Yeah. So
Right.
we'll see if they can keep that going. And they only pull a sleeve trick, says Go Dave. You got this is why we like Go players. They're hilarious.
I know.
Especially us. No, okay.
Actually, no. I had a great quote. So in the morning, these guys are setting up so that they can do the whole broadcast. We can bring that to you. And I'm usually in the strong players room, working with the game recorders, getting it all set up. And also just sort of, if you check our Twitter feed, I always take photos of what's going on there because I love to see what strong players do to get ready. And after you check, I have a great picture of there's a couple players playing, other guys kibitzing, and then one of the guys is sitting there with a Go book, reading the Go book.
Wow.
And I'm like, dude, it's not open book, He's like, yes, but I can peek. But then somebody was asking, I'm trying to remember which player it was, one of the older players. Edward Zhang pointed out to me there are only 2 players over 40.
Right.
Everybody else is just young.
It's a room full of young bulls.
But one of the older players beat Albert Yen, and
Yes.
so they were asking, so how do I beat Albert?
Right.
The guy goes, play good moves.
Man, that's hard hitting advice.
I know,
People at
right?
home,
Didn't think of that
play
one.
good moves.
Just play good moves.
Just play good moves. Yeah, now it's a bit of an upset. I mean, Albert 8-on, very strong. I think in most situations would have beat Michael there, but he didn't. Half-point game. That was exciting. But
miscounted.
Yeah. You're not. Those guys are strong, but not always there. So
Today's schedule.
We have the Masters right now, and then we have at 1
something special. Every day is something special. Can we just say we actually don't know this until they make up this stuff?
We're not hiding it from you, right?
We don't. We literally. Even when did we find out about this? Yesterday, I think.
Like last night.
Yeah, literally last night. They're like, oh, people are just making this stuff up on the fly, and they're like, oh, can you guys do this? We're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, sure. So we're doing a really cool Rango match at 1:15. That'll be between 4 different pros, including Stephanie Yin, Yun Kyodo, Satori, from Japan, 1P, I believe. No, he might be stronger than 1P. And then we have Han, actually. Yeah. So
that is going to be a fun match.
that'll be a really fun match. Ringo is always fun anyway because the players have different opinions, and so you're gonna see some, maybe conflict on the board, or maybe unison. I mean, who knows? It'll be exciting.
Oh, Eva D, can we set up a microphone?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
We will put a mic on these folks.
we'll get them.
Can
whispering to each other? We'll catch their. No,
And
okay.
then, talk a little bit about we did some cool things for the first time yesterday with our special broadcast.
Right, yeah. Those that tuned in last night, or if you missed it, go ahead and look back in our playlist in the live section of YouTube. We did a really cool broadcast with Ryan Lee versus 9 Pro Kim, and
It's so early in the morning for this guy.
I had one tiny cup of coffee. I need another one. And we had a heart rate monitor going. We had AI analysis happening. It was a lot of kind of new features we're able to bring out for you guys. So if you like it, let us know. If you hate it, let us know.
No, if you hate it, we don't want to.
Yeah, if you hate it,
keep it to yourself.
Keep it to yourself. There you go.
There's a definition of hat trick, which I didn't know.
Well,
there.
it's
a magic trick. I thought it was a magic trick. 3
hats involving 3 phases. Set them up, turn around, prestige, collect these 3 tricks called hat trick. There you go. Oh yeah, if you collect all 3. So yeah, we'll see if they can pull off the hat trick today. I mean, not everyone will be able to, right? Because we have some of the 2-0 guys playing each other, but that makes it all more impressive. So.
Right. And just back to the schedule. So we've got the Rengo Pergo at 1, and then I believe no Redmond today. Is that right? Redmond Thursday will be I think, and Department of Todd is on this. Do we have the? Did we put it up there? We're looking for the results. I think we have 2 out of the 3 Redmond Cups have been decided, I believe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Only the seniors is left.
Only the seniors is left, says Todd. So Redmond Cup Junior is Juan Shu.
And the Girls Cup is Stephanie Tan, 2-0 from the Midwest.
Congratulations,
she comes
Stephanie.
to my tournaments. She's very strong. She's getting stronger all the time. And then we'll see who emerges victorious on Thursday for the Redmond seniors. I think the commentators at that time will be Yunkyo Do and Nick Sabicki.
Well, look forward to that. Now, I believe don't we have a Pergo thing tonight?
We do. So I mentioned the Rengo one this afternoon at 1:15, but we also have Pergo proper happening at 7 p.m. and that'll be the preliminary match for the trip to Japan. And that commentary will be provided by our very own Eva D. And
often heard, seldom seen.
Yeah, also known as Gooplet, and as well as Nate Morris, also known as Telegraph Go. So we have some exciting, top quality streamers coming to you tonight. They're a great team. It'll be a fun time. Definitely tune into that. Do not miss it live. And they're going to be engaging with Chad and having a blast. 7 o'clock is when the match starts. Yeah.
Okay.
So be ready at 7. That's what we're telling ourselves.
Popcorn, your adult beverage.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Whatever. Cool. So we got, I think, and then tomorrow is the traditional day off, although many folks will be participating in the Die Hard. So I don't think we're covering that.
No.
Although stay tuned because you just never
We're
know.
workaholics around here, you know.
You know, we may get asked to do something, so we will see. So I think just stay tuned to usgo.org. Follow us on our Twitter feed, which we'll probably switch to the new thing, Threads. Is that what they call it?
We're going to Threads. Yeah, there you go.
Twitter is dying. So
Mastodon, we might have some AI. Oh no, so game capturing stuff on Mastodon. I'm wondering if we'll.
Yes, we need to try that.
Yeah.
Blue
Blue Sky.
Sky.
There you go. We got a lot of opinions around this.
We'll figure it out. For now, we are still on Twitter. It's not quite dead yet.
It's going along. Heart rates and AI moves were nice. Thanks, Guillaume. Yeah, I'm glad you liked them.
We'll keep that.
Yeah.
That's a matter of sort of talking the players into, although Ryan was like, yeah, sure, slap that on.
Here's how the heart rate thing worked. Right before the game started, I said, hey, Ryan, do you mind putting this on your wrist?
literally.
Just... and he didn't even know what's going on. I just slid it on there like, thanks. And then, it was
it was high. His heart rate was high the whole time. You might need to see a doctor.
Yeah, that's what I told him. And he's like, oh, okay, should I? Oh, there you go.
Seriously.
But facial recognition, there you go. And actually, I was watching some chess streams to kind of like think about the heart rate stuff. They don't even put the monitors on their arms. They have AI that looked at their face and could tell how flushed their face is, which tells them the heart rate. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. So coming in 10
That's
years,
got to
DJ.
violate several
Yeah, right.
privacy protocols, I believe. I don't know. But, and I'm also not sure how. I mean, I think Ryan was. I don't think nervous is the right word,
No.
but I mean, he's facing a really strong person.
Right.
But I'm just not sure about the correlation between.
I almost wonder if it's more because I've tried this with a couple other people in a couple other situations to do some testing, and we see the kind of like spikes on average, but it's really low heart rate. I wonder if he's acting more like a performance athlete, where he is just getting his heart rate up to a kind of like level where he's
The other
Right.
thing that to really do it would have been interesting to have one on Han Han as well.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Kim.
I'm sorry,
Exactly.
Kim. Yeah, on Kim. Have them on both to
Right.
see. So
Right.
I would love to see you try to
Next
put one
time.
on Kim.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll get them both.
It's like Kim here. Right? But
Yeah. Hey, you can barely. You want to know what I'm saying, but let's do it. So.
the only other thing I should say about Ryan was that Stephanie had, as I think we mentioned on the stream, brought his lunch because he hadn't eaten.
Right.
When I went I always go in the room in the morning just to make sure all the bowls are nice and everything. I'm like, here's his muffins and a sandwich, untouched. just still sitting there.
Who needs to eat? Yeah.
And maybe saving it for another time. All right. Unless there is anything else, guys,
No.
we forget anything.
No.
We got all caught up there.
I
We
think
need
so.
to get you off for
That's
your
right.
match.
Wish me luck, everyone. I'll see you later, maybe at the wrap up or tomorrow morning.
Okay. And
Or-
commentary. Oh, we forgot to say our commentary pro today.
Oh,
Matus.
today. Yes, that's right. Today we have Matus Surma, and again our lovely cat and I. She'll be joining him, and
The second hour, first hour, we'll have Sal.
Oh, Solomon. Yeah,
Sal will start us off.
the
with
classic,
Cat
the
Mai.
classic group. You guys will love them.
All right. So stay tuned for that. We'll start that just about 10 o'clock.
Yep.
All right. See you later. Thanks for watching. Wow, Todd counting us in professionally. I like it. Hey, Chris Garlock here. Saul will be along shortly. Looks like he was had a rough night there last night. And joining me for a commentary for round 3, Mateusz Sherma. Did I get it close?
Yes.
Yeah, 2P, but maybe it's unofficially 3P soon. Is that right? Okay, all right. So we're getting a very strong professional to comment our games. First thing we have to do, we have to officially present you with our official e-journal cap, which you don't have to wear. But
Okay, thank you.
All right, that's it.
That's okay. I can.
You can wear it. All right, very good. It looks good on you. All right.
Thank you.
Okay. So usual deal. Go ahead and ask comments. Some Eva D will answer in the chat, and some we will answer here as well. So. You don't want the hat? Doesn't want the hat? She says it creates too much shade on your face.
Okay.
All right. She's the boss. Eva D's the boss. All right. So let's take a look at the games. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. We'll start with game 1.
Yeah, we can start with the first board.
Okay. We'll start with the first board. We want to roll it back. Do you want to take a quick look at where the game is right now, or?
I've been looking a little bit from the start this game, so. Yeah, we can just go from the beginning, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So this game is being played by Alan Huang and Han.
And I should just say, Han was also late this morning. We were sitting there all ready to go, and no Han. And Han, of course, is the favorite. He has yet to lose a game. I didn't lose any games last year. Of course, won and has not lost any games. And in fact, has not even really been pushed yet this year. And we were thinking, well, he's so strong that maybe he doesn't have to even show up. But he has showed up.
Yeah, well, I remember when I was in China at the school to study Go, he was one of the teachers there. And he had the strongest group, so that I never even reached to be his student.
Oh, wow. He's very strong. Yeah, his game is very strong.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's take a look at it. Is the sound level? Are we good? Okay. All right.
Okay. So Alan is black and Han it's white. So far everything looks normal. Like this white move, to me it looks unusual. Like if I was white, I would rather consider playing higher, because after playing on the third line, black in general should be able to get the corner more or less in center, so that if white doesn't play now, let's say white plays at 1-1, so later black is able to get this exchange in center. Black can also think about starting with some cuts and then going this way. So black is able to spoil white's shape. And if the stone is higher, black isn't able to go in the same way because after white plays somewhere else now and black connects, black doesn't cut. So when the stone is on the third line, how it was in the game, and if black plays now all these moves, white plays elsewhere, now black is able to connect underneath and also keep white separated. So usually when white is going to have some moyo, like in this case on the top, in my opinion, it's a bit more interesting for white to play higher. Yeah, but this is probably some like very small difference, if it makes any difference. Maybe white has some other idea. Maybe white wouldn't block. Maybe he would play just something else. Maybe ignore, maybe jump. Like maybe he would have some other plan for the game.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the actual game, black played somewhere else. And now white started to play something so that, in my opinion, black wouldn't be able to get this. So in the game, after we check several moves further, white started to attack the corner and white just ignored. So yeah. So
what do you think?
I think it's a good move from white, so that white didn't make himself a bit slow with all these connections.
Okay.
So if white didn't have to play like that, I think it should be okay for white. and because of making all these exchanges and protecting the corner in center for black, so that white isn't able to get the extra stones.
Right.
I think it would be interesting for black to start with this move.
Mm-hmm.
So if black wants, maybe even in this very moment, black could think about playing at m17 to be able to protect the corner and keep the weakness in white's shape on the top.
Mm-hmm.
So like this, even if white plays the same move, still black can simply block.
Got it.
It's connected. Black can also think about playing maybe some other moves to get some wall. When there is a weakness in this spot, it might be also some option for black to just get a bit stronger shape and try to attack white's group. Yeah, so the game went differently. Here white played this 2-space jump. It started to be a bit more popular since the AI.
Faster.
Yes, a bit faster. So even though the corner is opened, but it would be possible to make their life anyway. But white just thinks that possible to get more into center.
And it's okay with being high, even with black's low position on the left.
I think white's plan is not to get points in the corner anyway.
Okay.
So after this move, all the time there is a possibility for black to play something on the
Sure.
second line. After this move, it's a bit similar. I think the main reason of playing further is that if we compare this move with 1-space jump,
Mm-hmm.
later if black plays something on the bottom, white jumps, black jumps, now it's possible for black to try to block it.
Right.
And when this white stone is 1 space higher, even though white doesn't block the territory in the corner, it's not that easy for black to just block white in the corner.
And close it, yeah.
Yes. So I think this is white's thinking that if black plays here, after white jumps, black plays like this, it's not possible to enclose white in the corner in the same way. In the actual game, black played here.
Excuse me.
If I was black, I would look for some other
shoulder
move.
hit.
Yes, shoulder
Yeah.
hit. I think this move which black has in this spot, it's helping black, so that if normally there is no stone in this spot, we get just this shape, let's say, like this. Black plays here, white plays from the other side, and now black plays like this.
Right.
White can play the common Joseki. I think it's very popular. Yeah, one of the more simple Joseki to start with. So this is normal. But now suddenly black gets a stone here. So if it's again black's turn, black is able to block.
Right.
It doesn't look as nice for white anymore. So when there was already a stone, I think it might be more interesting for black to play this way. Of course, white wouldn't play the same. Like now for white playing something like this and like this.
Oof.
Yeah, it doesn't look very convenient for white.
No, it still has to live.
So I think white would try some other moves, maybe trying to sacrifice these 2 stones, getting something from outside.
Right.
Like I will maybe show also one more variation, which is in my opinion, most popular one, is that if black has a ladder, black can play from this side, so that white cannot kill this black stone. But in this case, this move which white played just before the sequence, it's a ladder breaker. So if it goes this way, this way, this way, black plays Atari, this ladder, it doesn't work now because of this ladder breaker.
Got it.
So in this case, I think it should be nice for white. So black isn't really able to play this Atari anymore. And I think some alternative for black could be to try to make these kind of exchanges. So
that's a nice shape.
Yeah, the shape looks weird.
Is that playable?
White should be able to survive underneath.
I know, but it's so heavy.
Yeah, and at the same time, black is separated.
Okay.
So yeah, I think this could be some kind of a game to be played. Like if I was black, I would probably choose this one, this sequence. I like it a bit more than playing from this side, especially now when white is here a bit further, so that black can block. I don't really like when white is able to make this jump.
A little too easy for white, yeah.
I think so, yes. So in this case, when black already had a stone at 03, I think maybe it's a bit more interesting for black to try to do something
I like
more.
that too. Yeah.
Okay, so in the game, black played here, and then white played in the top right. So now there were some strange exchanges.
Say what you really think.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Normally, black connects in the corner. So if white decides to play here later in the future, black might think about trying to get something more out of this shape.
Right.
So black is able to connect on the top at N19. And if black plays a bit further, now white is able to play this Atari. Black doesn't want to play any co because anyway, no co threats, and it doesn't make much sense for black. So black connects, white connects, and the agi are gone.
That's right. Right.
So there should be some other reason for black to play this Q18. I think the reason is to try to make ko in the corner. It happened a little bit later. I mean, a possibility for it. So after white connected, black decided to cut. And now, because of having this move at Q18,
it kills. No, it's ko.
Yeah, it's possible to make a ko.
Yeah.
In the corner.
But it's not urgent.
It's not urgent. I think it's very difficult to start this ko. I think black is all the time under pressure, because if white is alive in the corner, then all this black's group outside.
You're not comfortable with that, are you?
Yeah, I wouldn't be.
This just feels very squished, right?
Yes. Like later also, like this kind of move is going to be center for a while.
I wondered actually, I was actually recording that and I wondered if the timing when these next couple of moves about the peep, when you don't want to play it right away, right?
Yes, because this peep, it's a minus, actually a big minus for white.
Right.
Because there is some other tesuji for white to be played. So if, like, I think all the idea behind not playing this peep is that in the future, black might play here in this spot. So if this move is a center, black gets an extra stone outside. So later black might be able to escape somehow on the second line.
Okay.
Like there is some weakness at least. This stone, it can also help with maybe trying to create an eye. Like there is a plus from this exchange. And if this is played, white doesn't really have a choice. So white is gonna connect and that's it. But if this exchange is not played, then white can play from the other side. And now there is no ko in the corner anymore.
Yeah.
So because of not playing this exchange, white, because of not playing this exchange, black is not able to play on the first line, this T14 anymore, to get such a nice exchange. So I think white played well. That's why I didn't make this exchange. It could be also center at this point. It's just, if black tries to play something more crazy, maybe something like this, then maybe white could think about playing this exchange to cut already.
Wait 1 sec. Ginger, did you have something for us? Are the game recorders in the room?
Yeah, the player's taking a break. Does the 2-2 here?
It's a ko.
It's a ko.
It's a ko. Yeah. Thanks, Ginger.
Staring at it, asking questions about it.
It's Ginger, our game recorder, just taking a little break here. So, all right, so black just goes ahead and jumps out, gets a little towards the center.
After black jumps out, maybe this could be
double
a little
peep,
bit,
right?
Yeah, it could be more annoying. So
annoying is good.
Yeah. So I think it's good to wait for white. just being patient and see what's going on. And still in the future, white is able to play this move, and it's going to be sent anyway.
Got it.
So in the actual
So
game,
very nice, patient, solid.
exactly, yes. Like black's shape, like if we look on this shape, we can imagine that this is going to be center, this is going to be center, but in the game it's even better if white doesn't need to make this center. But if looking on this shape, it's like it's a cookie, like not very convenient for black to keep it, even
That's
though
a nice way of saying it's really ugly shape.
yeah, okay, can also say it's a disaster, but this shape, yeah, it's a horrible shape.
Right.
Yeah, but white is separated, so black keeps a little bit of pressure, but not very much because of own problems with shape. So in the game, yeah, this was the game.
Mm-hmm.
So white all the time keeps some attack, keep some pressure over black's group. Now I played here. If white, in my opinion, if white is able to get some extra center moves, let's say black answers, so that black keeps the lead in the center, black is safer with own group. Now, if white plays just some extension from the wall, white gets quite a nice base. Even it looks like there might be quite many points.
Mm-hmm.
So black didn't feel too happy with it, I guess. And in the game, black decided to play something else.
I wondered about that move.
Yeah, it's a center exchange.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it's playable. So black gets another stone in the center. White is a little bit lower, so no chance to get too many points in that area for
Right.
white anymore.
Right.
Yeah, and after this exchange, black decided to play in the lower right.
That seemed like a nice sequence for black, right?
I think so. Yeah, like just taking the center. There are no points in the center.
Right.
So yeah, just escaping with this group.
Push white down.
Yeah, just escaping here and letting white take the points.
Yeah, white's sort of gotten everything, right?
Yes, like this kind of game, like black needs to really attack something hard, but it might be not that easy because black just doesn't have too many points. So in the game, black decided to play from the other side, and yeah, now black takes cash
Mm-hmm.
and also attacks white a bit. Just I think it's good to notice that this black's group all the time doesn't have two eyes. All the time it might be under a pressure from white's attack. So this was the game. White played here a good shape. There is no need for white to make this kind of exchange.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Similar like with the other peep.
Right.
It's anyway going to be center for white. So after white plays like this, how it was in the game, for black it's not possible to cut because of this Atari.
Right.
So from this perspective in the center, it was just not necessary for white to play this exchange. And at the same time, all the time white might be able to play from the other side.
It's an important thing for amateurs is to be not playing. A lot of times you think, oh, it's free.
Yeah.
But nothing's free.
Yes. Like these kind of exchanges are good to be played if you are thinking about getting rid of the other possibility. So if your plan is that this other possibility will stop to exist at some point, then it's good to play.
Okay.
But in any other case, I think it's better to keep it.
In reserve.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all the time there is the choice. All the time possible to choose. This was more convenient at a point while playing there.
Okay. So now, is this the game or is this? No, this is.
This is the game.
Interesting timing.
Yeah. So
Good timing?
I think no.
No. Not necessarily. Because
because of this one. So white survived.
Yeah.
And that's it. Black all the time is under pressure, and white is alive. So here still there might be some option for black to escape. There is a difference that after this move, white could be able to cut, because after this connection, white takes away a liberty from these two black stones. So like this, white is able to cut. But the crawling on the second line isn't very nice anyway.
Yeah.
Like still white can try to block something from the other side, even if this white stone is here in the top. After this kind of move, all the time white is able to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it just seems a wrong direction. Does black need to keep moving out?
I think so.
Yeah.
And before playing this move, before playing at t14, black had the possibility to make this call.
That's right. That's right.
So while playing this exchange, black just lost one of the options to make life.
Got it.
So
Okay,
it would be a nice exchange for black, but there is no time to play it.
Yeah, the timing is off. So what happened in the actual game?
White played to make life, and then black started to escape with this big group. Yeah, so black makes life, kind of.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah. Now white protects the corner. Big. So in the game, this is already at the moment what I didn't see earlier. So now white protected the corner. It's pretty big. Black could play Sansan at some point, a lot of points. Plus, if white plays at d3, later it's possible to maybe try to make a bit more use of this stone. So if white plays the corner, black isn't able to make easy life with own stones. So if white escapes at some point with this stone, then black doesn't have this opportunity to make life in the corner. Black needs to escape. And outside, white already has a wall. So white can fight. After this move, black decided to take points. So I think white will just escape with the stone, so that now black might have problems with these two stones.
I have a question, Suki Crafter, about whether it's more likely for Han to go for a reduction in the lower right and build from influence facing that central wall, or to invade deeply.
Invade?
I mean, it's several, right? I mean, you guys put maybe attach. I think Sansan is maybe it's.
In this, I think
It's a little tricky, right?
Like, I think taking influence to try to get territory in the center, it will just not work.
Yeah.
Like, in general, in Go, center is very difficult to take, and it's usually very small. So it's actually super hard to find a game from top players where they would be getting Moyo, like playing Moyo style. Yeah, Takemi Yamasaki, it's an exception. He is expert in Moyo, but for normal people, it's really very difficult to get Moyo.
Okay, good question.
And so I think white would be rather looking for trying to make life in the
Just
corner.
get in there,
Yes.
scoop out, move on.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what's happening in the game? So good time to move out.
Yes. So now black has a problem. Now this wall looks very nice.
Yeah.
Black is going to escape, and black will not have any points. And how black can escape? Black can try to jump. Okay, this was not the game. But after this jump, white can also lean on the other stone. So this leaning attack is trying to, like from this leaning attack, white is trying to cut, maybe even in center, because otherwise white can take this stone on the left. So
it's big.
Yeah, if black plays somewhere else, where black could play something like this, then white could just take a stone. If black protects this stone, also to try to be a bit faster, so Hane, white will play more in the center. So
those three stones are looking
dangerous. Yeah,
dangerous.
So in the actual game, black didn't jump. Let's see.
Man, your leaning move is looking better and better for black. You know, instead of they got K3. If black had leaned, they wouldn't be in this trouble now.
Yes. Like, I think in this position, it's dangerous for black to play this move, what he did, this C9. But overall, still, I would rather think about playing the shoulder hit instead of K3 much earlier. And at this very point, what else black can do? it's difficult to play anything interesting.
So this is black to move at this point.
Yes. Like, I don't see actually a good move for black. Like, if black tries to play something like this,
Oh, yeah,
all the time there is a weakness. All the
Right.
time white might be able to connect in the future.
It's hard.
If black plays a move like this, then white already protected a bit of the corner, so white is still going to fight. Like,
It doesn't really help.
yeah, the corner is much smaller for black to
Yeah.
try to take than before this exchange. If now white moves, black all the time has a backup. So all the time it's possible to take many points in the corner, and also black is able to play a move like this. So it's kind of eye in center, at least an eye in center.
Well, let me ask you, so in a situation like this where I'm looking and I don't see a lot of good options for black, is there a way to maybe switch off into the corner, treat those two a little bit lightly, or you're stuck with them?
It's possible to treat them lighter. Yeah, it's just just when.
No, I know, but it's sometimes you're in a situation you feel like, oh, I'm committed to them, but I don't like any of my options.
Yeah, I think it's possible to play from the other side. Let's say white plays pass. Then if black decides to play from this side, I think it's possible for black to make life in the corner and still keeping these two stones alive.
Right.
So I think it is possible. So now if, let's say, white extends, black is able to play something like this, and then still keeping these other two stones alive.
I like that.
It's just there's no time for black to do this, because it's white center. Black all the time had to focus more over this group at the top. So there is this weakness. The corner is bigger because of white stone being further instead of d6 when it's further. Yeah, it's a bit easier for black to play in Sansan. It's just that after this move, it's possible to play here, and if white stone is one line lower, now, it doesn't work that way. So black would kind of need to play from this side. Yeah, in the game, white played here, and now I just don't really know where to play for black. In the actual game, black played here. Maybe it's the only choice, just getting points from the other side.
Right.
Yeah, so this was the game. So the fight is going on. Oh, and here white played Tanuki. I guess white already considers that this cut in the center is just too small. So if black plays like this, white is satisfied with taking the other two stones. Yeah, so I think that's why white decided to play somewhere else, because speed is important. And about playing something in this corner, if white starts from Sansan, I think black would just try to kill, because now black has stronger shape on the other side, so it's okay for black to push white in that direction. And still being able to enter that corner. For example, after this move, when black plays this strange Keima on the second line, there is a possibility to play here in the future. So now it looks ridiculous.
Yeah. No.
But it gives this option. And if black simply blocks like this,
then
it's not possible to play in the same way. Like at this point, this move is going to be center. White can already play here. Yeah, white can also start with this exchange and then play the same. So all the time there is going to be this con.
Right.
And after this move, if white plays the same, black doesn't necessarily need to play here. Black can try to do something else.
Requires some reading, people. Requires some reading.
Yes. Yeah, so I think that's why white decided to play from the other side. So less risk. Yeah, and in the actual game, black played attachment. Okay, so let's see what happened. Went quite simple. Okay, this is the game.
That's like taking advantage of the cornerage, right?
Yeah, like at this point, if black decides to capture the stone, all the time white is able to do something with these two black stones.
Mhm.
And if black plays from the other side, this exchange doesn't give black that much more. Yeah, black is a little bit like more solid shape outside,
Sure.
but the difference is very small. But because of this exchange, later there might be some weaknesses in the corner. I think it's possible to do something more in the future there. Yeah, so after this exchange, white play it just a jump.
Just nice solid.
Yeah, just keeping the groups connected
Mhm.
and a bit faster than some move like this. Yeah, so now white just played some exchanges to keep everything connected.
So confident, just very moves look so. I mean, slow but very solid. Yeah.
Yes, like I think white already feels that he is ahead
Yeah.
and he doesn't need to
Nothing special.
do much more. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we're at the yeah. So before we go to game 2, let's take a very short break. We'll bring Saul in, give you just a little bit of break. Good, excellent commenting on that. We'll come back. I'm sure we'll be more here, but it just I saw a lot of Han's games last year, and this is we used to call this boa constrictor go. Boa just once the boa constrictor gets in there, there's just no escaping. Maybe you don't die right away, but just right. So I don't know. Is this a professional term? No.
I haven't heard of it.
We make it up. All right, we'll be right back, and Saul will take a look at games 2 and 3.
Okay.
All right. Thanks for watching.
Hi, welcome back to our coverage of the American Go Association eJournal's coverage of the North American Masters Tournament. We're here in round 3 to see the top 3 boards. I've got Mateusz, who's a 2 pro. My name's Solomon Smilik. I'm an amateur 3-dan. And sorry for being late. I did not have a rough night, but I was actually getting ready something very exciting. We have a Kaya board that we're going to have all the pros sign and have that auctioned off to benefit the American Go Foundation. This is a long-running tradition that happens at the Go Congress because the American Go Foundation is an amazing nonprofit helping provide scholarships and help support teachers who are teaching in schools. So if you're thinking about starting a new program, you can go to AGF, the American Go Foundation, and get all the resources and scholarships and grants to help you get those sorts of programs started. If you're interested in bidding on the board, you do need to be here at the closing ceremonies of the Go Congress each year. So look forward to doing that if you can ever attend. Give me a quick recap. Board number 1, how's Han doing?
I think he is ahead.
Okay, it's more of the same. But I think on boards 2 and 3 we have some pretty exciting matchups. I think the players are a little bit more closely matched than what we saw yesterday.
I didn't really see
Oh,
much of the.
That's all right. It's a busy event. There's so many tournaments. The pros have to be providing lectures and do simultaneous games, and there's all sorts of things happening at the Go Congress. But let's jump into game 2. We have pro against pro here in game 2. Eric Louis and Taylor Shu.
Yeah, so let's have a look. Eric is playing with black. So
Again, the Chinese Open, or no? Something similar.
Yeah, it's Chinese opening. Yeah, so looks okay, possible to play. Nothing really unusual so far.
So Taylor immediately takes the open corner, and
yeah, this looks a bit close to the other 2 stones. Like this looks a bit extraordinary to me.
Well, I think I understand maybe the idea that when someone has one extension along the side already, as black does on the right, you don't want to give them the second extension along the bottom to provide maybe too much opportunity.
You mean that at some point black could get some stone in this?
Yeah, and now black's just
yeah,
growing
probably.
out of control.
Yeah, I just feel like if white wants to play there, how about playing a bit further, like at least here? It's just that black stone, which black played on the left, it's low. It's just the 3rd line. So because it is low, white is able to get some center moves. So at any point, white should be able to get this move. So if we see that this move is center, and this move isn't center, but it still creates some weaknesses later in the future in black's
now you really wouldn't want that K3 stone too close to be over concentrated.
Yes.
Too close to your wall.
Like if black stone is higher, now white isn't able to get these center moves. So in this case, I understand why black plays in this spot. Now, yeah, there are basically no AG, so white gets just territory somewhere there on the bottom. But if the stone is lower, I mean, at C8, so the 3rd line, white is able to get another center move. So this move here, I think it just looks too close. So I would rather choose something further for white. Yeah, but this was the game. So after this move, black just protected the lower right. Okay, looks fine. White added a move on the top. Looks normal.
So far, very peaceful.
Yes.
Everyone just taking what they want.
Yes. So now.
Finally, some fighting.
Finally, yeah. Now when black is protected in the bottom right, it's a bit more difficult for white to fight. Because if white decides to play something to really fight, something deep, something in that area, so that white doesn't reduce, but white invades, I think it's not that easy for white because the only group which can be attacked is basically this one. If the situation was a bit different, that for example, black wouldn't have here these 2 stones, maybe white would have some stones there, then I think it's better to invade. Because it's still possible for white to attack something else. Like there is this possibility. But now when black is strengthened in the lower right, then it's difficult to fight because black is already strong. So then the reduction seems to be more interesting for white. So yeah, white decided just to reduce. So at this point, white jumped. Okay, black played some exchange. White played here.
This seems natural. Not because they played so solidly through the opening. There's not many targets. Maybe perhaps a shoulder hit on the left side around D9 or an extension along the bottom. I think both players would like to get the next move on the bottom.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, this on the bottom, it looks pretty big.
It's striking me that this is going to be a very long, very close game.
So far, yeah, it looks like this. We don't know how the fight, if it will be there in the top right, how it's gonna go. Yeah, but for now it looks quite calm. So about the next White's move, White decided to play a move like this.
Seems very light.
Yeah, about the shape, it looks like good shape locally. If we are looking on,
Perhaps with one more move, White can create a wall.
if we're looking on this shape, I think it's a natural move. On the other hand, if we connect this shape with this was a little bit higher, so that if we start to look on this other stone from White, now because White plays a bit closer to the other group, but still Black is able to cut, I think it doesn't match very well.
Yeah. So White doesn't have very good coordination because another move is required, which simply means Black always has an option of cutting through.
Yes, like if we think that Black is anyway going to cut, the further the White stone from this cut, the better for White. Because what's going to happen? If Black cuts, so Black plays a move like this and extends. If Black cuts, this White stone, this one here, it's a bit close to the Black stones. And Black's group, after this cut, in my opinion, is pretty strong. It's a strong group. In this very moment, it doesn't look like a strong group yet, but just in the next move, Black is going to strengthen it. So Black is going to play there. But if White plays something else, maybe not here, but something a bit like stronger to strengthen on group a little bit more. It's not as light as the other move, but yeah, this move is a little bit further from these Black stones. So now if Black is going to play the same,
Yeah, this doesn't impact those stones on the right almost at all. There's almost no pressure.
yes.
Yeah.
So I think now in this case, this White's move here, in my opinion, it would look a little bit more interesting because Black is anyway going to cut. Black gets a strong shape. So now White is also a bit more solid than in the previous.
Yeah, now White can almost just push directly out. M15 seems much more natural now because now White is pushing Black towards a strong position.
Yeah. So White is stronger. White can do a bit more. And if White plays this theoretically lighter move, okay, not theoretically, a lighter move, then it's a bit more difficult for White to decide to play. Like if White plays here, suddenly White starts to push Black on the other group, which becomes weaker. And I think it's more difficult for White to decide what to do.
All right, well, let's see how Black decided to come out.
Black jumped.
Again, the attach, but then instead of simply extending, jump.
Yeah, like if we are looking only on this shape, now only on this shape in this top right corner without looking on the other stones. So yeah, if we think that this is not here, the normal sequence is that Black plays something like this, White answers, Black plays here, White just comes back. If you are not familiar with this, it might look a little bit weird, but we can also notice that if Black gets here this connection, there is echo in the corner. So at this point, if Black is connected, it's possible for Black to play something like this, and there is echo.
And it costs Black almost nothing. This is free.
Yes.
A flower viewing co is what I learned. You're just walking in a garden. If you're Black, a White you stand to do something big, but Black is just strolling.
Yeah, Black makes a call without any losses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why it's not so easy for White to cut. Because after this move, all the time there is this call. It's just in this case, if Black really plays like this, I think there is still some danger because
Now it's-
maybe
now it's
white
very heavy,
doesn't
yeah.
cut. Yeah, maybe white plays something from the other side. Yeah, so it might be a little bit more dangerous for,
Now it's
for black.
heavy for both players, perhaps.
Yes. So in this case, when there are these white stones here, I think it's not that easy for black to play this double hane because white can try to play something different. So in the game, I would be looking for this move. If I was black, black decided to play a bit further, a bit more aggressively. If this is anyway going to be sent, I mean this exchange for this exchange, then it might look a bit better for black. On the other hand, there is this agi, which white played now. So yeah, at this point, I don't really know what's going on. How is the fight going to finish? It's just I think there is a risk for black that white was able to play the red cut. So let's see what happened in the game. So white just cut.
Now those black stones look very heavy.
Yeah. But suddenly black
So now we're
connected.
finally connected, but now black has a new target in the center. I suppose the white stones in the center are also a bit heavy, but white is on move, so
Yes.
I would guess M12
Yeah, this looks like.
seems natural.
So white did. Here about this fight, I'm wondering maybe it's possible to just play something else for white. Like this looks a bit more natural. But on the other hand, what can black do? It's possible to play this. This will be sent later after this kind of move. If white decides to cut, it's possible to play
And
here
ladder.
and kill these three stones. If white plays something different, black can still play the same. So if white connects, black is all the time able to keep white separated. Yeah, so I think white was just afraid of this sequence. If after this move white plays something else, maybe like this or like this, black can try to make life in the corner. It's just all the time it looks a bit dangerous for black as well. Yeah, I'm wondering maybe white can fight anyway. This one is going to be sent. So anyway, it will be alive. Because if white tries to kill somehow, then black is anyway able to play a move like this. So there will be this cutting point. Yeah, so I think they read it. So white just for that black will be alive after the more natural move. So white played something else to at least get some points, some extra points in the corner. So like this, these two moves on the second line.
There's very good exchanges for white.
Yeah,
Now
more points.
now the group is even less agi on the top.
Yeah, white is safe, white gets points, and white gets center. Yeah, so if we are looking on this shape and the other option,
Simply,
I think this looks more interesting for black.
so black definitely lost some ground there.
Yeah, this looks like a nice tesuji to just cut, even though white shape doesn't look perfect. Still, I think it's a nice move. Yeah, so this was the game. After white played the M12.
Now black has heavy stones to take care of. And I think white's a bit hard to attack.
Here, I think there might be a little bit of weakness in white shape after black plays something like this. So if white decides to cut, white connects. Later, black plays something here. If white decides to capture
One stone.
one stone, there is some agi. Yeah, so there is a weakness.
But white can simply
White-
perhaps let go of the 2 stones.
Yes,
Give,
white
give
can-
back,
white
give
can
back the
give
2
them.
stones, and the black stones in the center are still under attack.
Yes. So it's not like 100% necessary for white to try to survive with everything. Okay, so in the actual game, white played here. So white slowly attacks this black's group. In case it's still possible to cut. This is probably not white is looking for at this very moment, but there is this possibility in case of black really trying to cut something. So might be helpful in some case to cut. Okay, black came back. If white tried to spoil black's shape, I'm wondering, could black just escape? I think it's too big for white. So
I almost wondered if instead maybe black should extend on the top, try to spoil the top. As long as black is alive, you can deny
something
deny the points.
like this.
Yeah.
If white cuts, I
And
think it's
perhaps-
quite big. After this move, maybe black will anyway connect. So now white can play the same move.
Ouch.
It looks like black's shape is not as nice, but black gets center. But on the other hand, yeah, if black gets this move here, black doesn't play on the top now, but this shape is looking a bit stronger. So I think maybe white could have played like this, just to make sure black gets an empty triangle. I mean, this empty triangle. So I think it might be still a bit more difficult for black to make their life with this group. Yeah, in this game, white decided to play here, so black got the shape.
Now white gets the extension on the top. So again, white fixes the last potential weak group. And black, I think, still needs one more move. I don't think you can let play away now and let white continue to press.
Yeah, I think white doesn't have much option, because if white plays something in the center, it's just the next move for black to play there. So black gets a base, black gets a life, and white doesn't have points on the top, and maybe still is possible to do some harm in the future for these 2 stones. Yeah, so white took points, and then okay, black started.
Black asking a question about these 2 stones. Can I have them back?
Yes.
White says no.
Okay, so white played this exchange so that black isn't able to kill white anymore. Black made life, but white survives in the corner.
Well, this looks like a very nice result, though. Now black can take center, now that his group is a little more comfortable.
Yeah, I think it's a good timing. It's a good timing. Before black played anything in the center with own stones, black just played all the sequence, so black made sure that white will sacrifice this 1 stone at L18. So black just made sure that he's alive. And now black doesn't need to play around. So black can just play much more aggressively in this case. If black played something else, this other sequence which I was showing before, like this, maybe just white would sacrifice these 2, and even though
Continue the attack. After this, white will have so many more exchanges in the center, have a very easy middle game.
Exactly. So yeah, black gets a lot of points, but white is still able to attack this black's group in the center.
Yeah, I think the next 20 moves would be kind of dictated by white, and maybe black lives, but the result, white in the driver's seat for the remainder of the game.
Yes. Yeah, so this is the game. now black.
So black gets the extension on the bottom. Yeah.
Like here, I think black can also keep some pressure in the future. Like now, taking points seems like good direction of playing, and in the future, still there is a move to spoil white's shape. So if there are like Keima moves in general, like maybe I will just
Knight's moves can be cut.
I will just start an empty board. Like if there are somewhere on the board these kind of moves, and there is also a black's move from the other side, this is an annoying spot for white. Like there is one stone somewhere, and from both sides are stones, like one space jumps from the opponent.
So white could fix these shapes with one move, but that's not ice space. It's
Exactly.
still very harassable. You can continue to peep at these shapes and demand responses, and white's responses don't create eyes. They simply provide connection.
Yes.
So
So white will be connected, but it looks horrible. Black gets just a wall in another, an extra space, an extra area. Okay, so let's move to the game. So this
all
was the
right.
game.
After we have a question in the chat, let's light up. GoDave asks, "Who do you like, black or white, after L3? Which color would you prefer to take if you had to tag in and take over the game?"
I think I would choose black.
Mhm.
I didn't count points, but I think looks like black has more points. Black is stronger on the top. Like giving this one stone to be captured, I think it's like a very big profit for black. This LAT.
The safety of that group, yeah.
This one.
The tempo.
I think the problems began when black got stronger shape here. So before that point, when we move a bit back.
Yeah, perhaps we can look at if white peeps instead. Does black have any option besides connection?
Black can try to sacrifice these two stones, but I think they are very big. I don't know what else to play. Like, yeah, maybe black can try to play this immediately. No, it doesn't make sense because white can just kill. So white needs to connect. After this move, maybe white can play here. Sorry, maybe black can play here now. But even if black does, still white is able to play something on the top. So white is alive with own group, and black is all the time under some pressure. And if white ends up in center, then white can kill the stone anyway.
Yeah, of course. So black may live on the top, but if it's in Gote, then white gets to come back.
Yes.
And S17 is proven to be too slow.
Yeah, maybe it's okay for black. Maybe like because black will be alive, white will need to come back, so it will be later black's turn. But I think there is a difference between this position and the game when black got a captured stone on the top. So I think this should be more interesting for white.
All right, so white immediate response to shoulder hit to try to reduce black's framework in the lower right.
It looks a bit unusual. Like I would be anyway looking for doing something bigger.
So starting at R3, so then for those who don't understand this sort of probe move, playing this move, you're not expecting to live with this stone. It's just some Aji.
Just creating weaknesses in black shape to play from the other side.
It's very hard to ignore, but perhaps you get a result. Play on the side you don't want. So you play this move thinking to give it up and get maybe P3, so a stone you can work with.
If black only kills the stone, white is able actually to play two moves. So if white plays here, then black will just separate and then white gets this move in center. So white suddenly got 2 stones outside.
And if white tries a Q2 first,
If white plays like this, then black still is able to take the corner. Yeah, now black has just a bit less points. But black is also able to let
Give the
white
corner?
leave in the corner and take center. So it looks like white will be alive in the corner, but the center might be also quite valuable. So after this move, if it's alive, maybe better to leave it like this. If it's alive, then black can
commence that attack.
start some attack over this group in the center. So I think maybe this is what I would do if I was black. Just let white live in the corner, but take the outside. So as white, I would rather consider playing a move like this to get these 2 stones outside. Yeah, then maybe possible to.
And now the shoulder hit is looking very interesting.
Yeah, now I think these 2 stones should help.
There's a nice relationship there.
I think so. So white started with this. Oh, looks strange. Yes.
Small. It seems small to this 1 stone. I think white will, of course, sacrifice the stone, but maybe white doesn't answer at all and turns at L6 or begins the sequence in the corner, or it does seem very strange.
Like if black doesn't want to give white any power in the center, because now when somebody plays a shoulder hit, we are going to have some kind of a race, right? 1 by 1 race, black and white adding these stones, so we get a race. If black doesn't like it, then maybe it's possible to think about some attachments around so that black gets own shape a little bit stronger without making opponent as strong in that direction. So I mean that in this shape, black can also think about playing this attachment here. White cannot cut. If white tries, black kills.
Catches 1 stone.
Or from the other side also, like white cannot connect everything. At some point, black could be always able to cut. So what else can white do? If white plays, white can play like this or like this. After this move, black can already connect. Then there is all the time a weakness, so possible to cut. And now black is not going to play from this side. Black is going to play from the other side. So with these exchanges, J4, K4, black just gets a little bit stronger shape outside. So now black can think about playing from the other side. For example, something like this. And then, even though there are still some weaknesses, maybe white can make there somehow 2 eyes, but I think it's going to be much easier for black to attack these stones on the top. So black kind of makes the situation so that black is on the top instead of white being on the top from the small race going out of the shoulder hit. And if white plays from the other side, like this, black already has an extra stone.
So black can be happy with the exchange.
Yes, like here on the bottom, white was already quite strong. White played very close to the other stones. So still black was not going to invade at any point. So I think this is just a nice move to have because black has an extra stone in the center. And to try to make use of it, assuming that black plays the same, black can already think about playing a bit faster.
Yeah, so I've always heard that the proverb, it's okay to make a strong stone stronger.
Yes, exactly.
So white already had a strong stone. It's okay. Attached to your opponent's strong stones, they're already strong, but if it demands a response.
So if there is a weak stone, you want to attack it, don't touch it. Yes, but if there is a strong stone, but it's not it's not a stone which is part of a wall which is super strong and it's possible to ignore it. So it's just strong but not extremely strong. Then normally it's going to be center. So yeah, white will be a bit stronger, but it doesn't really matter.
So let's follow the game a bit. So black pushed a few times.
Yes.
But didn't like pushing from behind. So then took 1 stone. Of course, white's going to give up the stone.
Yes, of course.
Does. And then white gets the turn.
Turn. I think the turn might end up in Gote, and after black decided to take the stone, how about just letting
push
black-
again, with another threat to Atari.
This will be annoying that black gets this move in center, but white will also get a move in
Mhm.
center. So maybe black will just extend. So now white kind of connects these 3 stones with the other group. So I think maybe white could just follow that direction, just to make it connected. But okay, white played here, so let's
Seems very big. Black now potentially some heavy stones.
yeah. Okay, attachment connected. Yeah, but if we just reverse the order, this one, okay, this one, and now black plays like this. I think black was already quite strong, so black could play a bit further. Yeah, I think it should be a bit more interesting for black to play this way. Yeah, so here.
And finally, white makes this exchange.
White makes this exchange so that black cannot extend, and get much more. Black cannot play here and block so
Complete
easily.
a wall. But I don't know, this taking this one stone at Q10 to almost ruins black's ability to attack in the center. It seems very small.
Like, I think it's not dumb. It still gives some profit, and it's still later possible for black to continue. Like, for example, to cut still is possible, like to play from the other side. Still, it doesn't give white possibility to take there any points in the future, because maybe at some point white could decide to play something like this, so that white can also get some points in that area. I just feel like it's maybe small. Like all the sequence what black played after the shoulder hit, I think is just small. Black just escaped, so white doesn't kill black after the shoulder hit, and later black just took a few points. I think it's a bit small. Yeah, but in this position, playing Tenuki, so white is trying to kill, I think.
Or insist that black come back for maybe N2, the sort of slide.
Yeah. I think white also loses something with this attack. It's not completely without any losses. Like at
It
some
looks like white's almost trying to build the middle. Maybe first to start with 09, the simple push first. And then this suddenly it looks like some 10, 15 points might appear in the center.
might be, it's just all the time is the center, so all the time it's difficult to get these points. Like white needs to close from this side and also from the other side, and it might be not so easy to do this within only one move. And at this position, there is all the time a weakness in white's shape. If black plays at some point there, I think there can be problems for white. Maybe in this very moment it doesn't work yet. What can white do? White can do something like this. So for now, maybe it doesn't work. But if black gets some attachments first, I think it might start to look a bit more risky for white. So after this move, maybe it's still possible to get some not so bad shape out of it for black. As white, still I would rather just answer.
That's very calm. Yeah.
Or maybe it could be possible to, answer now or after these exchanges, instead of this move, still answer.
Yeah, this sort of leaves the question to black.
Yes.
What are you doing with these stones?
Yes. Okay. This was the game.
Double high. Connect.
It also looks fine because later black is able to play this exchange. After this move, there start to be maybe some problems with cut, and I think black is just going to have some center moves. So black should be able to escape. And after this move, also there are going to be some center moves. So I think it looks also fine. This double Hane doesn't look bad. Yeah, so in the game, black play it like this. Okay. Okay.
Well, you said you liked black after L3. You know, black had taken a nice, been the first person to play the extension on the bottom, but now it feels like black didn't get anything out of that. So white has settled, you know, the lower left a little bit, has more power in the center, and all black got was the one stone at Q10. Was your
I think still it
Still
should
black?
be okay for
Still
black,
black?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I just feel like after this capture on the top, black gets super strong, and at least black doesn't need to be too afraid of own stones. Like about territory, all the time black is able to play something like this because of having this power. So after this move also, it's not that easy for white
What
to
about
block.
the left side? It seems a little bit too wide. The black
This
needs
one.
another move to finish the side. It seems like white has some opportunity as well.
Maybe white will play there at some point. Yeah, it's just if looking on points, I think black has just more. Black has one big territory on the right. White has here small. Here this I think is more or less same black and white. Here this is more or less same black and white. This is, let's say, Komi. I think black has more.
Okay, yeah, that right side is at least 30. It's quite large. Yeah. So now there's some fighting as white is keeping the pressure on this black group.
Yes.
And now it's beginning to affect the left side.
Like maybe it could be possible for black to play something else instead of this move. How about trying to make a bit different shape? Oh, wait. At this point, instead of jump, how about playing here?
So it looks like this is maybe a vital point for white's shape.
Yes.
But it also seems to have some weakness.
Yes, it's just
the knight's move.
black is able to play this move in center, so we can already see that it's a normal extension, not like a jump from these stones, because this stone, this triangle, it will be always center for black. But at the same time, black might be able to turn the situation to get a bit other center moves. So if white plays somewhere else, then black is all the time able to play from the other side to be able to get some other center.
Oh, no, this is perfect, yeah.
So I think this one should be a bit more interesting move for black. So if white plays just a move like this, black is already faster. Black escapes faster than in the other situation. So here I think maybe it could be a bit easier for black to play with this move. Now it looks a bit more risky for black. Still, I think black should be alive, but
Black wants to keep all the points
yes,
and must have a good plan to stay alive, because now we're moving towards white stones, K13, his position on the top.
Like I think black was ahead. Black could play a bit safer. This looks dangerous.
Let's see how white proceeds. Okay. So again, leaning on the side you don't want. White says, okay,
Yeah.
let's make some exchanges. Then I'm going to attack you.
It looks like a good strategy for white. Oh, but this I don't understand already. Like, I think it's just enough trying to kill. Just trying to kill.
So if black takes the one stone now,
If black takes,
then suddenly a large scale attack. Now black is really inside white's house.
maybe black thinks that anyway it will be alive. I don't really see a very nice way of attacking. Maybe possible to play something like this, but on the other hand, this is there.
So black gets an eye threatening to cut at n4.
Yeah, possible to get something there. Yeah, later there is a cutting point in white shape here. It's maybe not possible to cut immediately, but it leaves some weaknesses in white shape. So maybe this kind of moves can be also annoying. Oh, I think maybe black still thinks that this group is alive, and white probably decided the same. That's why white plays from the other side.
But this may give white a very large corner suddenly.
Is it? I think no. Like white cannot take it all. So this is the game. I think it's the current situation.
So white again, similar to black's decision on the right side. Just take one stone. This flattens black's territory out quite a bit. Black only along the second and third line.
Yeah, it's just I think in this position when white gets the strength, white gets these extra moves. It's difficult to use them because this group is anyway alive. So white needs to kill.
Yeah. Are there Sente moves against that group on the top? Maybe J16 or something? Are there Sente moves that will help white profit in the center while forcing black to make two eyes?
Might be. It might be some kind of center. Yes. Might be. If white plays in this very spot.
Of course, black can live with, something maybe H18 perhaps, or
Yeah, maybe white should start with this move, which you said about. Yeah, looks like a nice move to attack.
Well, this seems like a good place to jump to the other game and see what's happening on the next board.
Okay.
You still like Eric's position more than Taylor's. Still comfortable with black giving white Comey and the right side so big.
Yes, like now it's kind of all in. Like white needs to kill something, otherwise black wins. Still, I think maybe it will be okay for black, but it just starts to be a bit more risky.
Okay.
So maybe after this move, this J16, maybe it's really possible to do something there. Yeah, it would just require probably quite a lot of time to analyze all these options.
Okay. Well, let's see what's happening on board number 3. Here we have with the Blackstone's Shang against Yingji Shen. This game seems to have progressed a considerable amount. A lot of fighting, some very big territories. Do you want to give us an idea of what the state is as it currently is? But then maybe we can look from the beginning.
Yeah, there is some kind of a
fighting a ko in the center.
Okay, maybe let's have a look from the start.
Very exciting.
Okay.
Okay, star points for white.
Yeah, they played some fight with this Joseki.
This is a lot of fun. Sort of the pincers, the counter pincer.
Yeah, I think it's not a Joseki. They just play like this, but it looks more or less okay for both.
All right, let's see.
This one looks slow. This one at S9.
I think maybe White is tired of having to be questioned and run. Now that White has a weak group, Black has a weak group. Maybe settle in one group, at least have only one fire to put out is nice.
Maybe it's just I feel like anyway White should make it alive. Like this move is kind of sent to make a living. Like later, what else can Black do? Let's say White plays somewhere on the left like this, or maybe even like this. Yeah, so that White takes care of the lower left, and what can Black do? Black can try to cut like this. I think it's not so simple for Black anyway. Yeah, it looks like White just played a slow move. I think here it starts to be good for Black in this position. So this move, in my opinion, is very important because now Black gets an extra help for this stone. So all these white stones, which are a bit more on the right.
Now they're floating.
Yeah, they're
for sure.
floating.
Yeah.
And in the other,
And if White had taken S2, then at least there would still be a target
yes,
for White.
now White attacks Black, and in this position, Black attacks White. Even though Black played on completely other side of this group, still I see it as Black is attacking White, and before White was attacking Black. Before White was getting points in the corner, now Black is getting points there, and keeps a weak opponent group.
Yeah, very, very small silver lining for White. Having played S9, now there's some opportunities on the top.
Yeah, but this
the
is,
upper right.
I think, is not the most important part of the board for now.
Not urgent.
I think much more important is this what's going on the bottom. So I feel like this S9 is just a bad move. Okay, so White escapes. Fight goes on. Okay, Black decided not to play the perfect shape, the extension. Like this, White gets center, White can play maybe. So Black wanted to keep a bit more pressure. Okay. White doesn't want to give Black a nicely captured stone. If White plays somewhere else, like for example like this, Black might be able to play here. If I was Black, I wouldn't, but maybe White was afraid of this. I think still they should focus more over the bottom. Like I feel like this part is more important, playing something there just to keep opponents separated. I think maybe this move looks best because after jump, White can block. And after this move, we can also assume that this is center for Black, so it's difficult for White to cut. Yeah, I think they should just play something on the bottom. This is the main part of this what's going on. And this, I don't really understand.
I think it's so close to the center. Often you see a game begin with maybe a crosscut pinwheel, some strange games that begin in the center and with a lot of fighting. This seems very, very similar.
Yes. Yeah, it's like if making this shape, starting with a game after cuts.
And sometimes when we play with kids on a small board, teaching capture go. The first person to capture a piece wins. Often it's a very fun way to begin the game is with a crosscut, so that both players immediately have things to take care of.
Yes. Okay, so white jumped, black.
So black, again, following your suggestion, takes care of the bottom.
Like also for whites playing the same triangle, it's painful.
When the board is so open, maybe one more move now.
Like maybe white could just play elsewhere. Maybe something here, maybe blocking, maybe playing to do something with the other stones if white already decided to play there. This looks
Yeah.
just slow.
And it's strange that they come to fight a collator if white gets 2 moves in a row, because black is not going to play another move here
Yes.
right away. So if white plays in the center, it's not like black is going to take m3. It's big, but
It's big, but not very big.
Yeah.
It's like this one black's group, this one on the right, it's safe. Black already played here, it's safe. This group is not as safe yet, but because white plays here, black is just able to get the bigger moves. So I think pushing black to connect on the second line, this would be more interesting way of playing for white. So if white plays anything that black would need to play there at n2, if white plays whatever, so that black would play here, I think this is a nice sequence for white. So black just played some move which gives black only several points. And
white's playing on the 4th line in an open area, and black is playing on the 2nd line. Seems
yes.
Early in the game, this seems much more. But it seems like it's going to be a very stubborn fighting game. And as we know from when we came in, they get into some serious fighting in co.
Yes.
Let's see how that happens.
Black decided to jump. I think this jump is not the best. Like if this is center, I think black can get a bit more, so that black isn't cut. Yeah, of course, this exchange at h6, it's a minus because black doesn't get a stone from the other side, but it's not possible to keep black blocked that on the bottom. I think this is just more important than getting a bit worse, like a bit stronger opponent outside. I think the main part of this situation should be not to be blocked, not to be surrounded and enclosed there by opponent. So even though this move, it looks strange, still I would play in this direction so that it's not possible to enclose. Okay.
So now white encloses, but black slides into the corner, so it's a little more comfortable. But now white can attack for...
Now this move what white played, it doesn't look as bad because black is enclosed. So there are weaknesses. Later white can play something in the middle, maybe possible to damage. So this move, it looks like disaster, let's say, for black. I think it's just not good. Black should run away from there. Okay, so black played now outside, white played here.
Immediate question.
I would expect white to play just in the middle. Okay, so white played here, black makes life. Why did white play this exchange? Like, would black play here in the next move? Let's say white plays here. Would black play here? I think not really. I feel like keeping this, it's more valuable for white than just blocking the corner. Like after... here, if white decides to play like this, what can black do? Black can block, white plays here, connects. I think it's just more. Okay, but this was the game, so let's continue.
Perhaps white's saving a move like h5. So perhaps later white wants to be able to fix the problem. Instead of giving black a peep at h6, maybe white wants to have h5 for himself as a threat to come down into the position.
Maybe. It's just, I think it doesn't give big profit for white. Like this is just some endgame, small endgame. I just feel like if white played at h3 at some point, it could really damage. But this one is just some soft reduction.
Okay. As a black fighting, I like this. Cappy White asking a question. Which way do you go? Left or right?
Maybe they don't know anyway what's going on. Yeah, I don't know either what's going on. Yeah, some strange fight.
Just fighting. This seems like a move I would use in a handicap game. So I'm playing perhaps a Q player. This is a very good question move. It's like, no more running this way. You must choose a new direction.
Like many times when playing a capping move, it doesn't really matter from which side somebody plays, right or left. It doesn't matter. Still, it should be not so comfortable at any case. But if one side is more important than the other one, then I think maybe
You
focusing
lean
on the weaker
instead,
side, it could be a bit more interesting. So if we are looking now on this shape, which side is weaker?
Well, I think my general idea is to push my opponent towards my strong area. So
Exactly.
I would play from K13 perhaps.
Yeah,
It looks, of course, the 3 stones in the center are still weak though, so
I
a
think
bit dangerous.
this direction is more interesting.
Yeah, the left side of the board more open, more interesting, and the fight will you'll be at the advantage if you're fighting on the right side.
Exactly. Like here, black has these 2 stones here.
And, marked with an X.
Having 2 stones there is not only taking 15 points in the corner. Having 2 stones there, it also gives some power. So why not making use of it? So if black pushes white so that white needs to play somewhere around these 2 stones from black, this is black's strength, then I think black should be just satisfied.
Yeah, especially if you think that black is ahead already, then there's no need to play moves that would create more potential on the top. Just keep it very simple, keep it fighting, keep everything small.
Like either the schema or simple jump, I think it doesn't really matter that much. But just playing something on the left, I think this left side is more important. After the capping move, white will just play Kusumi.
And this is the game.
So now white starts to attack black's group. Before, in this position, black is attacking white. Black is the attacker. Now, after this, it's completely different. Now white is attacking black. I think it starts to be convenient for white in this moment after this capping move. Yeah, it looks like black gets territory on the 6th line, but it's not like this. This is not territory yet. And if white kills these black stones in the center,
that's huge.
Yeah, I think that's bigger. So this is the game. Okay.
So now white is able to use the weakness on the bottom to settle his running group.
Like if white is afraid of these moves.
Yeah, what was the order of the plan? So what if coming back one move? What if white makes this this move now?
Yeah, I think
again
black
to,
will just
threaten the bottom. Now it seems like having denied black the peep seems a
Good.
bit seems good. Though in the game, white captures a few stones. So what do I know?
Yeah, this looks good for white, and now white can play the same move.
So the game move a cap.
Yeah. So if black plays also the same move like this, now white can play actually. What can white play? Everything.
Resist a little bit more
Yes,
strongly.
white can resist. Now this move, it's a nice spot. So black didn't get this exchange, possible for white to fight. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought this was the idea behind C2.
So as black didn't play it earlier, maybe black should play immediately.
But black gets it here.
So now white got only a few points in the center, but black starts to
Now
damage
into the left side. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what's going on. I think, yeah, after black started to play there on the left, it started to look nice for black. So black survived. And white didn't get anything out of it.
I think white's shape on the left looks a little bit better. The double tiger's mouth is.
Yeah, it's just, I think keeping pressure is very important. All the time to make sure that opponent is not 100% alive, keeping weaknesses. Because if somebody has weaknesses, it's not possible to forget about this group.
Yeah, it's very hard to create a new weak group when you already have a weak group to
Yes.
take care of.
Even if this group is not very weak, but even though this group, yeah, it's not that it's like easy to see, yeah, we can fight, we can attack, and so on. But just keeping their weaknesses so that this group is not 100% alive. I think this is important. So that the difference between group which has already two eyes, or which is connected with another group, or a group which has maybe 1.5 eye, it's a huge difference. It's really very, very different situation.
Well, let's see. After so white sort of does get a few points, gets to settle the left side a little bit more. Black is alive, so now black doesn't have any weak groups to worry about.
Yes.
And there's still the corner. But you think black would come directly into the corner now, or try to finish the top? Maybe something around L17 to try to threaten a large area of their own. Now that
I don't know.
it seems like black now has a wide open options.
Yes, I think both look okay. Doesn't matter if black plays something like this or something like this. I think both look fine. If black decides to play something like this, yeah, then maybe white will try to protect a bit the corner, but black is able to play something there. There are all the time some agi, maybe not immediately because white can also try to cut, but there are some agi. If black plays in the corner, white will try to get sent, and later white will play something on the top right, I think. Yeah, so let's see what happened. Okay. Center. Black played like this. So black tries to get both.
Still attacking, maybe. Still ideas of maybe attacking these stones in the middle.
I think this move looks good. Because if white plays here, black is able to play in the corner anyway, but because of this K16 move, black is a little bit stronger in the other part, so it's more so it's more difficult for white to damage this top right.
Look at a good exchange.
Looks like a good exchange. So white probably try to, yes, resist. So double Hane, yeah, looks fine. He connected, so now I guess sans no. Oh,
Black wants to be very.
This looks
well,
weird.
now it looks like a white jump D14 might be even bigger.
Okay,
Ah.
let's say white played some exchange, and then white
C15,
just saved the
okay.
corner. I think this connection is not good. This is
Slow.
just way too slow.
Mhm.
Way too slow. Just trying to make life. Corner is super big. Like all these other exchanges, for this, I think this is great for black.
But now it's time to leave that Aji there.
Yes. I think it's important to play somewhere else at this moment.
So black plays a bit slow here. White puts a weakness in and then fixes.
Okay, so some exchanges. Center. Yes.
Well, now suddenly almost looks like endgame. Black
Yes.
takes G5.
It was
Maybe
center.
8 points.
So but the previous move wasn't. So now it's black played here. Yeah, black played at C6 and white just blocked territory. This F14.
Mhm.
Why aren't they playing anything?
Yeah, white seems like they were going to follow up on the right side.
Yeah, like instead of this, why not playing any continuation?
It seems very big.
This is still open, and here, black can play, but
This,
it's more or less settled.
mhm.
Yeah, it's still possible to reduce, but I think it's not possible to kill or make life in this white's territory already in the top left. So I think in this case, this R13 looks bigger. Plus, it's difficult for black to actually ignore it because like this white can get even more.
Now, is black have a possibility to keep attacking the bottom left? After catching the 4 stones, it looks like
Now
it looks like maybe if a black move at B5, this does seem sent a black move at B5 if white plays elsewhere. That white may have a little difficulty.
this is center for I. Later, it's possible to kill the stone.
Okay.
So capturing
once-
these 4 stones
mhm.
looks bigger.
Okay, I thought it was endgame, but white has to answer. So black,
it's
black
just-
takes 4
This
stones.
was
and
endgame.
sent
This was endgame.
Mm.
This C6 move. This was an endgame. Yeah, so suddenly both players started to play endgame, but this is still open.
Black threatens to cut in the center, and white ignores, leaves K12 available.
Maybe it's fine. Maybe not.
Maybe this is why.
Like
White
is
hasn't followed on the right.
Yeah, white is trying to make some group so that later, if black cuts, white would be able to connect anyway, I think. So, looks okay. It's just all the time I feel like for longer time, like for both players, it would be big to play something there. Maybe for black, a move like this, something like this to fix a bit this shape on the right, and for white, just jump.
With a possible connection on either side of the black stone.
So I think that one should be a bit bigger, in my opinion. Okay, so this is the game.
So it seems very almost peaceful.
Yeah. So overall, white didn't need to connect at K12. But on the other hand, white didn't really damage that much on the right. Like as black still, I would choose something else. Instead of this move, still I think it's more interesting for black to play here. Later black gets a follow-up, possible to play something more.
Always dream bigger.
Yeah, I think it's important to keep an eye on continuation. So you play something and you are looking for continuation. If there is no continuation, maybe it's good to consider playing some other move.
All right, let's get to the fight. They end up fighting a Ko here.
Yeah, okay, white cut, but it's Gote.
So here we are. This Black has one eye, and now
I think it's just endgame. Just endgame call. Because white could connect at any point. So at this point, white decided to play core. Maybe white thought that he has more cost threats. Okay, they play some core. This one. So that's the end of the call. Okay, white played some cost threat, which black didn't accept.
and Black says, "Oh, take 2 more stones. I take 4. I take 3 stones. You take 2."
Like here, I think there is also a bit of weakness with all this black's group. That if white cuts, then maybe it's possible to do some.
I've completely forgot that
Problems.
Black hadn't made 2 eyes with this group yet. So Black still needs to live on the bottom right.
Yeah, but it's
Sort of a like if this was a lightning game, I would lose the entire bottom right, all these black stones. I would forget. Yes, they haven't. I didn't make those live yet. Still need to move at P2 or something. So Black's cutting off 4 or 5 stones in the middle.
I think it's okay for black to just capture this stone. I think this was maybe a blunder from black because all the time white is able to play this call. After damaging a bit of points, white captured, and here there is a cost, so black will connect, and later white will play like this. So all the time black has problem with the lower group. So at the end, what happens is that white is alive with own stones, white damages territory, and black still needs to come back. Looks quite good for white, I think. So probably now is the time to capture. Yes, it's smaller, but I think it's very risky for black to play from the other side. Okay, so this is the game. Oh, this is the game. Black captured. Okay, another cost threat. So now they play core. Like here with all these moves, white loses some points, but it just generates another cost threats, and this core is so big. I think white doesn't need to regret losing these 2 or 3 points. Yeah, so at the end, died. Okay. Yeah, so black played a few more moves, and black resigned.
Seems like a lightning game for me. This is I understand Black's loss here completely. Just left alone for too long.
Yeah, this capture, this one. What
Do you think Black was winning before this? Can we come back a few moves and if Black plays from the other side and takes 1 stone here immediately, then he's also going to win the 2 stones at L9, L10. Black will catch those stones.
Yes, these aren't alive.
Yeah.
Either.
Let's Let's see if the computer can give us an estimate. The computer thinks white a lot. The top left so big. Anything misunderstood? I don't think so. So maybe white slightly ahead on the board plus Comey. Maybe that's why black was trying to push and take a little bit extra. Yeah, maybe having missed that opportunity, connecting solidly instead of taking white's corner.
I switched off.
We can. Oh, back to the game. Yeah. I think that may have been the pivotal move, is the black connection at L16 too slow.
Yes, this looks like a critical
Mhm.
point. I agree.
So if this at
It was
then-
just too big, this
Mhm.
top left. Like this, black already blocked a bit. And I think now is the time to accept that something else can be bigger.
Okay. So I think we have a result. Yeah, the black has resigned, and black, I think, taking care of business today on alt boards. We can come back to board number 2 perhaps, or and see what how the pros are progressing.
Okay.
I didn't get to review board 1 with you, but maybe that's one place where Han will really see if they can stop black from having a clean sweep on the top 3 boards today. But when we left board number 2, perhaps we can return to board number 2. When we left board number 2, white was preparing an attack in the center.
Yeah, white captured that stone,
And got 1 stone out of it,
and now that was
and
white's
now
turn.
proceeded to attack in the middle.
So white starts to attack this group on the bottom. So is white going to try to kill the top? I think this is what white's trying to do.
Oh, to try and
Yeah,
attack
maybe.
in the middle with an intent to kill the top.
Yeah, maybe later white will just try to kill.
Mhm. So if white is strong enough to resist a black running out,
Maybe.
yeah,
Still, I think it might be difficult, but maybe this is white's plan.
okay. And there, yeah. Oh, my move.
Yeah.
So happy when a 3 dawn can spot some vital point.
Okay, so black is alive.
So Eric makes an eye, but now maybe there's an attack. Just points.
Yeah, white just. I don't know. I feel like white just gave away this game. It looks like black has more points. Black didn't give much on the left. Black is alive with this group. Black is alive with this group. I think it's like game over.
So white immediately grabs a few more points. Wow, suddenly seems like endgame.
Yes. So they play the end game. Okay. So this is the current position. So white is not able to cut the stone.
But the players are getting close to Byoyomi as well. About 5 minutes remaining on their clocks. But I don't think we'll see any real surprises from here.
Like if counting points, This is around 35. This is around 19, I think. Here, let's say 2. Oh, they
Oops.
play it. This was 35, 19. Okay, sorry. No counting anymore.
35, 55.
Like here, this
For
would
black.
be
Mhm.
center for black.
Okay.
So it's 35, 19,
Oh, 20.
54.
Right.
A bit more than 60 for black.
Okay. And white, maybe 10 in the top right, another 15 in the middle.
25.
Oh, mhm.
This maybe can be 15. Maybe not.
But the bottom left, another 10 for whites.
Mhm. So it's 10, 25, 35. A bit more.
Mhm.
Then-
And Comey
10,
seems close.
25, 35. Altogether, maybe like 50 for white plus Komi, and black maybe 60. I think black should be ahead anyway.
Okay. Are we caught up with the current? We are current, but they're getting close to Byoyomi, so things should start to move along rather quickly now. It seems like a few points jump out to me, and some second line moves. To me, I'm looking at certainly C18.
Yes.
Big for both. Maybe something in the lower left, since there's a problem with black's shape here. For white, maybe something simple.
Yes.
Just a B5. Maybe something on the bottom. Would black would really,
Like
I think.
J2, it's a center move for
Mhm.
black.
So for white, maybe reverse Sente, take away J2. Because it's, I think, hard to ignore B5. Because after that, white can really start to damage the territory.
Yeah.
One of my first, when I first was learning Go, my first books were little pamphlets for endgame. Good for learning Tasujis as well, I think. A lot of endgame is Tasuji.
Yes.
Let's ask the computer. Computer agrees with you exactly. Black just slightly ahead. But a lot of moves left to play in endgame. Endgame is its own skill, I think. All right. Well, thank you for your coverage today. I think we'll.
Thank you.
You'll continue to get updates if you're following the game on OGS. The game recorders are doing a great job of providing some commentary, letting you know how the players are doing with time, and we'll let you know the results as those come in.
Masters in Vico are now, thanks to the Department of Tide,
Oh wow!
up to date, including the round 3.
Okay, so the game results are available online. If you want to look at the current standings, those are available, so you can check those out and see how the players are doing. We'll continue to have coverage of the U.S. Masters tomorrow morning.
1 o'clock.
And we have some exhibition today.
Pro. Here we go.
We're doing, there's Rengo, 2 pros against 2 pros. We'll be playing a very tough Rengo match. So if you are a fan of 2-on-2 This is the game where the players don't get to talk as a team. All you can really ask is it my turn? Whose turn is it?
And do we give up?
And should we resign? Should we resign? Yeah, these are the only options for talking with your partner during the game. Of course, players who play a long time probably have overall strategies, but within the game, it's very exciting because I think for most of us, Rengo is like playing against 3 people all at once. You think you have a partner, but really it's 3 opponents giving you grief. So that'll be this afternoon at 1:00. So in about an hour, we'll resume our coverage. With that, we'll have a commentary with Eva D and Telegraph Go. Oh, that'll be the Pergo tournament, and that's to determine who the U.S. representatives to the Pergo Championship will be in Japan. That'll be a fun one to enjoy, and then we'll continue our coverage tomorrow with more Masters.
No, Thursday. We're back Thursday.
Tomorrow's Wednesday. Wednesday is the middle of the week. It's the day off at the Go Congress, so no coverage tomorrow, but we'll be back on Thursday after that with the next round of the Masters. All right.